Hello and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred to date in years past, both recognized by actual historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the Smart Device application, Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Alexander, and we may be joined later in the show by the one and only Who is Alice, aka Stapes, aka Pam Poovy, aka Bitch Pudding, aka many other names. She has a lot of aliases. Anyway, today is Tuesday, aka Tears Day, aka Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. Alright. So, let's jump on into the history, shall we? Starting off in the year 69, really nice. A general of Vespasian's troops occupied Rome after defeating the Emperor Vitellius. Alright. We got another historic event here in 1192, a pretty good time jump there. Richard the Lionhearted captured in Vienna. Ooh, that's not good. So he was captured. And, I gotta say, I like his combat helmet, it still has his crown, it provides it protection, and you can see kind of, well, I can see, let me get a bigger picture here for you. You can see ear holes, so he can hear. So that's really smart. But not smart to have a crown on your head, because now everybody knows who you are, they're, rule number 1 of combat, kill the head of the snake. Going to move on up into 1522, Solomon the Magnificent. Wow, so actually 500 years ago on this date, right? I think. He accepted surrender of the surviving Knights of Rhodes, who were allowed to evacuate. They eventually settled in Malta and became known as the Knights of Malta. Oh, that's interesting. 500 years ago on this date. Yeah, it is. If my math is correct. Anyway, we're going to jump on up into 1626. Holy Roman Emperor Ferdinand II and Prince of Transylvania, Gabor Bethlen, signed Peace of Pressburg, or Bratislava. I don't know why I was having a difficult time seeing Transylvania, so. Anyway, we're going to jump on up into 1699. Russian Tsar Peter the Great ordered Russian New Year changed from September 1st to January 1st. Huh. That's interesting. So just kind of molding into the rest of the world. 1745, Bonnie Prince Charlie's army reached the River Esk. Alright. 1790, the first successful U.S. cotton mill began spinning yarn in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, built by Samuel Slater, based on Richard Arkwright's design. Ooh, that's interesting. So all the way back in 1790. Huh. So, and less than 100 years later, there's a Civil War. So cotton, really boomed, it sounds like, because it wasn't around for too long, 100 years or so, slavery and all that rigmarole. Oh, Rumpelstiltskin, 1812, Grimm's Fairy Tales, or Children's and Household Tales by Jacob Grimm and Wilhelm Grimm was first published, including the story of Rumpelstiltskin. So, it seems like. Then we got a theater premiere in 1823, the play Rosamund, Princess of Cyprus by Helmina von Schezzi, with incidental music by Franz Schubert, premiered in Vienna. Man, does this guy not know what a brush is? Woof, Anyway, we got another historic event here in 1862. Confederate Army Brigadier General Nathan Bedford Forrest occupied Trenton, Kentucky during the Civil War, obviously. So, he was also a Grand Wizard of the Klan. So not a good guy at all. And we got another event here in 1879. Thief Thomas Edison privately demonstrated incandescent light in Menlo Park. I wonder who the actual inventor of the light bulb is. Certainly wasn't this guy. So, and we got a boxing title fight in 1905. Philadelphia, Jack O'Brien won the World Light Heavyweight boxing title after defending champion Bob Fitzsimmons of England retired in round 13 of 20 in San Francisco. So sounds like he threw in the towel. Oh, here we go. 1915, during the First World War, Anzac troops completed their withdrawal from Anzac Cove on the Gallipoli Peninsula. What turned out to be one of the greatest humiliations in the war for the Allies. A tragic defeat. It was a good attempt, but, no cigar there. Moving on up into 1917, Cheka formed Soviet State Security Force and forerunner to the KGB under Felix Dzerzhinsky after decree by Lenin. So it sounds like the start of the Czechoslovakia or something. 1 year later, 1918, Eugene O'Neill's Moon of the Caribbees premiered in New York City. Okay. 1920, Bob Hope became a U.S. citizen. Good. He wasn't? Oh, he was born in Britain. Okay, well that's Bob Hope. I did not know he was a British. Alright. 365 days later, 1921, American League voted to return to Best of 7 World Series, while National League voted Best of 9. Commissioner Kennesaw Mountain Landis casted a deciding vote for Best of 7. Gonna move on up to 1922, 100 years ago on this date. 14 republics from the Soviet Socialist, 14 republics form Union of Socialist Soviet Republics, USSR. Happy birthday, Soviet Union? Question mark? Like, 100 years ago on this date. Huh. But then also in 1922, Polish Parliament selected Stanislaw Wojciechowski as president. I'm always watching, Wazowski. 2 years later, 1924, Adolf Hitler was freed from jail early, having served only 9 months of a 5-year sentence for his beer hall putsch. And this is why you should have them write out their entire sentences. You know, like, he was released early. Didn't even serve 1/5 of his time. Like, not even a quarter. He only served, like, what, 12% of his allotted time? 13? I don't know the exact math. 9 years out of a 5-year sentence. Somebody do the math for me, please, here. And we're going to jump on up into 1926. Pope Pius XI convicted fascist pursuit in Italy. Well, that didn't work out too well with Mussolini, now did it? Also in 1926, St. Louis Cardinals traded future Baseball Hall of Fame infielder Rogers Hornsby to New York Giants for Frankie Fish and Jimmy Ring. Concerns over Hornsby's gambling. Ooh. Alright then. Well, even though he was a gambling addict, it seemed he was worth more than himself. He was worth 2 people. So, yeah. Got some more sports history here. 1940, Connie Mack acquired controlling interests in the Athletics for $42,000. Huh. I wonder what that means. Like the Athletic stock or something? Or, like, you know. Anyway, we got another historic event here in 1944. Terence Rattigan's Oh Mistress Mine premiered in London. 1946, Christmas classic It's a Wonderful Life, a film directed by Frank Capra, starring James Stewart, Donna Reed, and Lionel Barrymore, premiered in New York. Alright. And yes, for those who are wondering, it is difficult to read while scratching one eye. 1946, Darius Milhaud's Second Symphony premiered with the Boston Symphony conducted by the composer. The work was commissioned as a memorial to the wife of group's music director Serge Kozievsky. Alright. 3 years later, 1949, Maurice Ravel and John Cranko's ballet Beauty and the Beast premiered. Ooh. Beauty and the Beast. 1950, Harvey, starring James Stewart, premiered in New York. Alright. 1957, Elvis Presley received his draft notice to join the U.S. Army for national service. And I think he did serve, right? Or did he dodge the draft? Did Elvis serve the military? Yeah, Presley served as a member of 2 different armored battalions between March 28 and September 17th in 1958. He belonged to Company A, 2nd Medium Tank Battalion, 37th Armor Station at Fort Hood, Texas. During his assignment, he completed basic and advanced military training. Alright, well that's pretty cool. I'm going to add this link into the underbar, the description, for further reading on this particular subject matter and topic for anyone who's interested in the military exploits of Elvis Presley. Anyway, we are going to move on up into 1962. Pop singing group The Osmond Brothers television debut on the Andy Williams Show. Cool. 1963, Contempt, a film directed by Jean-Luc Godard, starring Brigitte Bardot and Jack Palance, was released. Alright. 1969, Peter, Paul, and Mary's cover of John Denver's song Leaving on a Jet Plane reached #1. That is a good song. Oh. 1971, first preview issue of Miss magazine was published in the U.S., launched by Gloria Steinem. Okay. 1972, we got some film and TV history here. Neil Simon's Sunshine Boys premiered in New York City. Alright. And then 1 more year later, in 1973, American League President Joe Cronin refused to allow Dick Williams to manage the Yankees. Okay. Also in 1973, Montreal Canadian Henry Richards scored his 1,000th NHL point. Good. And it's too bad that Alice isn't here quite yet, because it's another Alice article. She's just constantly missing out every day. One more year later, 1974, The Godfather Part 2, directed by Francis Ford Coppola and starring Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, was released later to receive the Academy Awards Best Picture of 1975. That's another movie I've yet to see. So, The Godfather. Let me add that into my movies channel. The Godfather. Both parts. Alright. We're going to jump on up. More from 74. George Harrison released Dark Horse, his 5th studio album in the United Kingdom. Then we got An Appointment of Interest. 365 days later, 1975, Pope Paul VI named J. Willebrands Archbishop of Utrecht. Cool. 1976, Israeli Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin resigned. 1978, H.R. Haldeman, Nixon's White House Chief of Staff, was released from jail. Oh yeah, this guy. Yeah, I remember him from this picture. Very unhappy looking individual. And we got some sports history here in 1983. Guy Lafleur, the Montreal Canadiens, became the 10th National Hockey Leaguer to score 500 goals. Cool. It's a rather boring looking shirt he has on though, but yeah. 1983 as well, or Palestine Liberation Organization, Chairman Yasser Arafat and 4,000 loyalists evacuated Lebanon. Yee. 1985, Dennis Provin passed Bobby Orr as NHL defenseman scorer with 916 points. 1988, Working Girl premiered, directed by Mike Nichols, starring Melanie Griffin, Harrison Ford, and Sigourney Weaver. I have not heard about that movie yet. So. 1989, U.S. troops invaded Panama and ousted Manuel Noriega, but did not catch him. Oh, whoops. 1 year later, 1990, Soviet Foreign Minister Eduard Shevardnadze resigned. Alright. He was a president of Georgia and Soviet diplomat, and he was a Soviet foreign minister, so... We got another film release here in 1991. Father of the Bride, film starring Steve Martin, Diane Keaton, and Martin Short was released. 1991 as well, Paul Keating became Prime Minister of Australia after rolling Bob Hawke for leadership of the Labour Party. Man, you know, like, love may be a battlefield, but so is politics, man. 1992, Slobodan Milosevic was re-elected President of Serbia. I've heard about this guy. So, we got another film release here in 1996. The horror film classic Scream, starring Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox, was released. Isn't that a little out of season? You know, Scream being released on December 20th? You'd think it would have been October. You know, they're a couple months late with that. They should have at least, like, waited a year or so. Like, makes no sense to have a, you know, especially a movie like that. You know, like, that is a cult classic there. We got another film here, 2002, Gangs of New York, starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Daniel Day-Lewis, and Cameron Diaz, was released. That's another movie I've yet to see. So, Gangs of New York. Let's see here. Copy and paste. Alright. Got an album release in 2005. Geffen Records released The Breakthrough, the 7th studio album by Mary J. Blige. It won 3 Grammy Awards and sold over 3 million copies. Got another historic event in 2007. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II became the oldest ever monarch of the United Kingdom, surpassing Queen Victoria, who lived for 81 years, 7 months, and 29 days. Well, I know someone who's Queen Victoria II, and her reign shall rule on forever. All hail Victoria II! I don't know. Also in 2007, the painting portrait of Susan Bloch, 1904, by the Spanish artist Pablo Picasso, was stolen from the Sao Paulo Museum of Art, along with O Lavrador de Café, by the major Brazilian modernist painter Candidio Portinari. I'm bad with names in foreign languages and whatnot. So, wow. So, painting portrait of Susan Bloch. Let me look this up here. 1904. Portrait of Susan Bloch. What does that look like? No. There we go. Oh, this. Why would anyone steal that? Okay. Alright then. Oh, good heavens. Wow. Anyway, let's move on up. 2009, U.S. President Barack Obama received his vaccine jab against swine flu. Okay. Well, you know, as the saying goes, I'll believe it when pigs fly. Well, swine flu. There you go. We no longer can say that. Oh, man. Dude, every time I see this picture, like, she looks so abnormal when she's not dressed in meat or something. 2017, Lady Gaga signed Las Vegas residency deal for $75 million at MGM Park Theater. That's a good investment right there. 2018, U.S. Defense Secretary Jim Mattis announced his resignation after disagreements with President Donald Trump. Okay. Then 2021, just last year, first Hong Kong legislative elections with only Patriot candidates allowed to stand has low turnout of 30%. Yep, because of, reasons, politics, and all that rigmarole. Anyway, let's jump on up. Before we do that, actually, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we'd elaborated more about? There's a lot of things we didn't mention, all the stuff that's not in the black highlighted sections, like this guy here. But a lot of history happens every single day. Like, I really encourage you to go to the underbar, the description, click the links, go check out. It's amazing. It's amazing what happens, what's uncovered every day in the antiquity. But was there anything that you would have liked to add, to the show if you had been here? Start a dialogue in the comments section. Anyway, moving on into birth, starting in the year 1494, we have Laurent Finet, was a French mathematician and cartographer, born in Briancourt, France, dying in 1555. Huh. We're doing a pretty good time jump here. Up into 1868, we have Harvey S. Firestone, an American industrialist and founder of Firestone Tire and Rubber Company, where the rubber meets the road, born in Columbiana, Ohio. And they had a real blowout season not too long ago. Actually, pretty decent amount of time ago. Actually, it's been roughly 20 years. Wow. We also have Branch Rickey, 1881, an American Baseball Hall of Fame catcher for the St. Louis Browns, manager of the St. Louis Browns as well as the Cardinals. He's also an executive GM, St. Louis Cardinals, 4-time World Series, born in Stockdale, Ohio. All right. He looks like an Ohioan. We also have Robert Menzies, in 1894, the 12th Prime Minister of Australia, United Australia Party, 1939 through 41, Liberal from 1949 through 66, and its longest serving, born in Jepart, Victoria. Aha.
Liberal? What?
Yep. Alice, welcome back.
I'm back. Hey, we got on this date today, 1898 through 1990, we have the American actress, Irene Dunne. She was known in Cimarron?
Cimarron.
And Theodora Goes Wild, born in Louisville, Kentucky.
Ooh.
Oh, Cimarron.
Cimarron.
Okay. Louisville, Kentucky. Took a Louisville slugger to both headlights.
I hate that song so much.
I do too, trust me. But when I hear Louisville, Kentucky, that's all I can think of.
Yeah.
I drove through Louisville, Kentucky on my way back from the December 12th protest in Washington, D.C., actually, in 2020.
Well, speaking of Louisville Sluggers, did you hear that news story like about a week or so ago in New York where this one guy just smashes this other guy with a baseball bat, hits him in the back of the head. Didn't kill him, but knocks him down, And he stood over them and started talking shit. So, but yeah, that's news.
Holy buckets, man.
Yeah, and let's not forget, that one lady who got decapitated out here in California by a sword. But,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, by that one dude in front of her 2 children.
Yeah. And nothing happened to the guy.
Yeah, that was that.
So.
What? They never found him?
They did, but they're not doing anything because he's a minority. What? Yeah. So. Welcome to California, where you can.
Murder.
Welcome to California, where you can literally cut somebody's head off in public, and your skin color will get you away with it. So. But anyway, let's move on up here.
Murder.
Who else was born in 1946?
Oh, we've got Dick Wolf in 1946. He's an American television series creator from Miami Vice and Law and Order. He was born in New York City, New York. Today is his 76th birthday. Happy birthday, Dick Wolf!
Like, I wouldn't, like, I could only imagine, like, being in his PE class. Because you know how in PE, or, like, even in roll call, like, you know, when you're at school, they go by last name first. So it's like, Wolf, Dick. Like, oh, God. Like, wow.
Oh, I've got a wolf dick, yo. Red Rocket! Red Rocket!
Anyway, 1946, we have Uri Geller, is an Israeli musician and psychic known for bending forks, born in Tel Aviv, Israel. Huh. Why does
He's
he
76 and I hold.
Why does he look like, who's the guy from, Parks and Recreation, that one actor, hold on a second.
Not Chris Pratt.
No, Parks.
No, I know who you're talking about. He's been in a few things. Wasn't he also in that one show with the guy from Married with Children?
I don't know.
No,
Rob Lowe.
Guy.
He looks like Rob Lowe.
Oh.
Kinda.
Oh. Yeah, I suppose. I can kind of see it. Rob Lowe meets David Copperfield.
Yeah. Images.
Hey, look up at David Copperfield first for a second.
Here, let me bring up this picture here. See this?
Yep.
All right, and then we go to Burse. See, they look remarkably similar.
Yeah, but you need to add David Copperfield's face in here just for a second. So it's like David Copperfield and Rob Lowe had a child. It'd be him.
David Copperfield. Let's see here.
Yeah, the magician.
Yeah,
so he's a magician himself.
I know who he is. I'm just trying to find a picture of him. There we go. I guess.
Yeah, see, yeah.
I mean, he has more Rob Lowe characteristics, but.
Yeah, I suppose, but like he also has a little bit of like the jawline of Copperfield.
Yeah. Anywho, Zizzle.
Yeah. Anywho, Zizzle.
Here you go.
We got Todd Phillips' 52nd birthday today. He was born in 1970. He's an American filmmaker. He did the movie Road Trip and did the movie Joker. I think that's with Joaquin Phoenix, right?
I believe so.
He was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn! Hey, I'm Brooklyning here! I don't know why I do that.
Yeah. So, what you do to anything that's East Coast.
Hey, I'm Bostoning here! Like that's how they walk.
It's kind of like how I go Valley Girl on you guys on the West Coast. like, oh my God.
It's like, hey, I'm Californiaing here.
I'm Californian here. Oh my God, that sounds so dumb.
Well, speaking of Californians, you got one right here.
Oh no. Oh God. Happy birthday, Jonah Hill. You're a year older than me.
Wow.
He turned 39 today, and he was born in 1983. He's best known for the movies, Superbad, Moneyball. I never watched that, The Wolf of Wall Street. But he was also in, 40-Year-Old Virgin. He's the guy with, like when he goes into the eBay store and he wants to just buy the fucking shoes.
I have never seen that movie, and I'm fast on track to be that movie. 4 years and 2 months, I'll be the 40-year-old virgin.
In what is it, 8 years and how many months? My boyfriend will be a 40-year-old virgin. Oh my God.
Hey, somebody's got to have the record. Why not us? So.
Yeah,
wasn't he also in?
You're gonna run it.
Jonah Hill was also in This Is the End.
Yeah, he was in that one End of Days movie where they get robbed by Emily Watson.
Yeah. No, that's the name of the movie. This Is the End. Like he got possessed by a demon after the demon, did something to him, not safe for work. So
I've seen the movie, but I haven't seen it in so long that I can't remember half the crap in it.
You know what? Let me add that to the movie section. This is the end. Yeah.
Well, I remember watching cause around that time that movie came out. I think The End, which was like that Simon Pegg movie where they go doing a bar hopping thing.
No, that's The World's End, which I gotta add that too. The World's End.
Oh yeah, well, like that, and then there's The World's End from Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's
as well.
World's End. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah,
World's End.
Yeah.
There's The World's End. There's This Is the End. Man, yeah, that's a lot of dark subjects there. Anyway, we're going to move on up to 1984. We have Bob Morley, an Australian actor, Bellamy Blake, The 100, Drew Curtis, Home and Away, born in Kyneton, Victoria, Australia.
Bellamy! Oh my god, he was born... I'm older than he is. I watched that show. It's not a bad show, but then after a few seasons, just kind of got a little out there.
Huh. We also have JoJo, or Joanna Levisque, born on this date in 1990. She is a U.S. pop singer and songwriter, Too Little Too Late, and Baby It's You, born in Brattleboro, Vermont. Huh.
I have no idea what that song is. Who the... Oh god, is that one of those guys from...
Why is he so white?
Oh no, who am I?
Like, has he never stepped into the sun ever in his entire life? I've never seen somebody that white. That is like sickeningly white.
Makeup.
Like, look at me. Like, I'm an above ground basement dweller, and I have more color in my face than he does. What the hell? Like.
Well, but you're from California.
Oh, true.
Maybe it's all the smog that makes them not get the pigment they need.
I don't know. Anyway, you got these two here.
Hang on. You gotta scroll down. Unless my thing just froze. Yeah, there we go. Scroll down. Oh, good.
Can you not see this?
Killian. No. We have. Yeah, you did Dylan Wayne.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No.
Oh. Okay, so we have his 24th birthday in 1998 born. Chinese actor and singer Meteor Garden was born in Chengdu, Sichuan. Sichuan.
Is that the same place where the sauce is kept, the Szechuan sauce?
Maybe. Well, it's Sichuan.
Yeah.
And then we have Kylian Mbappe. Oh, he's a Jacquois. He was born in 1998 as well today. He's a French soccer forward for France PSG Monaco, born in Jacquois, Paris, France.
Oh, oui. I must.
Dude, I love the picture they gave him. Look at his. Dude, look at his face in this picture, though. He's like, I don't know.
It looks like his O face.
Oh, that's a disturbing O face. Oh my god.
Anyway, we're gonna move on up into deaths, and since you are the one and only Lady Death, you get to start us off here in 217.
Oh, we have in 217 AD, we have Pope Zephyrinus, Bishop of Rome, died today, from 199 to 217 AD.
Ah. Ooh. Oh, wow.
He didn't live long.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ooh. And today in history, Sacagawea died in 1788 to 1812. She died in 1812. Shashone. She's a Shashone interpreter for Lewis and Clark expedition. She died at the age of 24.
You mean Lewis and Clark, not Lois and Clark. She wasn't helping Superman in his squeeze.
I'm sorry, Lewis and Clark. I'm sorry, yeah. Sorry. My bizzle.
Then we have Erich Ludendorff, died on this date in 1937. He was a German general during the First World War, died of liver cancer at the age of 72. Yeah, born in 1865. So, dang, that's a pretty long life back then.
Damn.
And we also have Moss Hart, 1961, a U.S. playwright. You Can't Take It With You, Act 1. Died of a heart attack at 57. So sounds like he didn't get to Act 2. That's unfortunate.
Aww.
But at least he knew where he was going. You can't take it with you. Oh my god, I'm going to
Oh my
hell.
god, dude.
Oh, wait.
What the?
I'm in California. I'm in a place worse than hell. There's nowhere God can send me that's anywhere worse. So, ooh, here you go.
No, I would say purgatory might be worse, but I'm not Catholic. So.
I'm not paying taxes in purgatory now, am I?
Well, you're paying off your debt.
Huh. Your turn.
Okay, so this is my turn now? Or is it your turn? Okay, so in 1902 to 1968, we have John Steinbeck. He was an American author, Grapes of Wrath, Nobel Prize in 1940 and also in 1962. Dies at the age of 66.
Now that is something I haven't
Holy
seen.
bucket.
Somebody who's won multiple Nobel Prizes. Like
2? Yeah, he won 2.
You know who?
Must have been for literature.
The most Nobel Prizes. Let's see here. This is currently the United States has won the highest number of Nobel Prizes with 400 from 1901 to 2021, but not a country. Which person? Here we go. Of course, the Curie family has received the most prizes, with 4 prizes awarded to 5 individual laureates. Marie Curie received the prizes in physics in 1903 and chemistry in 1911. Of course, they worked on like radiation and everything. We all know about Marie Curie and her husband. So, then we also have Max Robinson, 1988, the first black U.S. citizen network TV anchor, specifically for ABC. Died of AIDS at 49. And there's a whole thing about that, about how the CIA or whatever released AIDS into the black community in order to stem their reproductive abilities. But that's just a conspiracy theory, which conspiracy theory is a conspiracy theory in and of itself. It too was invented by the CIA to allow the public at large to publicly snub anybody who thinks outside of the box. You know? Like, what better way to get your work done than have the people do the work for you? We also have Carl Sagan, 1996, a U.S. scientist, astronomer, and author. Broke his brain, Cosmos in Contact. We've spoken about this guy a couple of times. Known for his research on extraterrestrial life, died of pneumonia after suffering from myelodysplasia at the age of 62. But this guy, he did a lot of stuff. But what is this? The myelodysplastic syndromes are a group of cancers in which immature blood cells in the bone marrow do not mature or become healthy blood cells. In a healthy person, the bone marrow makes blood stem cells, immature cells, that become mature blood cells over time, enlarge an anatomy of the bone. So, yeah. Some types have no known cause. Others occur in response to cancer treatments or chemical exposure. Symptoms may include shortness of breath, fatigue, easy bruising, and paleness. I'm not even going to read that again. The syndrome may progress to leukemia, as it did for this guy. It looks like. No, he died of pneumonia. Transfusions and medications help manage symptoms. Medications or bone marrow transplants may lessen transfusion needs and slow or prevent progression of leukemia. So, and I'm going to add this link in the underbar, the description, for, further reading, if anybody does so please. Let's see here, but there we go. Add that. Alright. We also have Leopold Sedar Senghor in 2001, a Senegalese poet and the first president of Senegal from 1960 through 1980, died at the age of 95. And let's see here. Just last year we have 2021 Kamara Barty, a Major League Baseball outfielder from 1996 through 2001, Detroit Tigers, and 2 other teams, as well as a coach from 2017 through 2021 for the Pittsburgh Pirates and 2 other teams as well. Died of an undiagnosed brain tumor at the age of 49. That sucks. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, and 7 for our friends out in Germany. For all of you and all of us, I am Yozander, and we had Alice for a little while. Anyway, until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in news, notable events, weather, and sports, we have a news show coming up at 2 in the afternoon Pacific Time. Anyway, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Until then, toodles!